I guess we'll wait a minute or two. Hi, good evening. Good afternoon. We'll wait a minute. Good afternoon.
Shalom Aleichem. One second.
How are you?
Glitch with the email.
What's up?
Baruch Hashem, we're looking forward to your visit.
Eretz Hashem.
Looking forward.
We'll wait, I guess, 2 minutes.
Yeah, maybe give it another minute. Yeah. For some reason, I didn't get the email. Only Nechama got it. So Tracy's checking.
The reminder?
Yeah. Did you get it?
Yes. Devon. Okay, should we start? Okay. I don't have to say good evening, good afternoon, good morning. I don't know where everyone is. So I'm first of all excited. It's good to be back. It's good to be back. Learn some Torah together. Torat Eretz Yisrael. So thanks a lot for whoever's here. And we'll start. I'll share screen. Daf Mikorot. Can we see it? Okay, perfect. 1 second. Okay, so in our Parsha, Parshat Noach, if I'd ask you what's the main theme of the Parsha, we would all probably answer the same answer. Noach, Tevat Noach, the Mabul. And maybe you would remember, but I'm not sure all of us would. that there's also Migdal Bavel, the story of building a tower, a big building. ואמרו איש אל רעהו, הבה נלבנה לבני, ונשרפה שרפה, ותהי להם הלבנה לאבן, והחמר היה להם לחומר, etc. And they built a building. They had this plan to build a city and a tower. What's the problem with that? Why is that a problem? Any ideas? Anybody? What's the big deal? Okay, they wanted to build a tower. They wanted to create a Baruch Hashem, another new city. Ir vayim beYisrael. Why not? What's a big deal that HaKadosh Baruch Hu had to stop everything? Vayered Hashem lirot et ha'ir v'et hamigdal. He went down. He came down and he said, "No, this cannot be." And we all know the what happened and how Hashem punished them. And no, not going to be. Why not? So that's a question I want to deal with today. And also, I don't know the situation now in Chicago, but at least in Israel, it does not really happen that we do not say Kiddush Levana. I don't know how, maybe it could happen once or twice, not on Motzei Shabbat, okay, on Sunday, on Monday, because it's a little bit cloudy, but for remembering Skokie, Chicago, I think most of the times we did not say Kiddush Levana because it was too cloudy, or too many times that was a little odd to me. What's going on with Kiddush Levana? Oh, we can't say Kiddush Levana. And we missed it sometimes. So I want to talk a little bit about Kiddush Levana also, and I'll answer the first question with explaining Kiddush Levana. Why am I talking about Kiddush Levana? Because we're supposed to say Kiddush Levana on Motzei Shabbat. To take this interesting minhag of Kiddush Levana, and I want to explain a few aspects of Kiddush Levana, and maybe that would also answer our question about what was a big sin, or why did Hashem had to interfere in the building and the city they wanted to create in our Parsha. So going back to Kiddush Levana, Moshe Amar Hashem kachatzot halayla, etc. Right before in Parshat Shmot, right before Makat Bechorot, באמת כל בכור בארץ מצרים, מבכור פרעה יושב על כיסאו, עד בכור השפחה, etc. והייתה צעקה גדולה. We're about to get to the climax of the story of Yetziat Mitzrayim, plague number 10, and we're out. Time out. ויאמר השם אל משה, פרק י"ב, right after that, before he gave the plague, ויאמר השם אל משה ואל אהרון בארץ מצרים לאמור, החודש הזה לכם ראש חודשים, ראשון הוא לכם לחודשי השנה. Stop. I want to teach you a mitzvah about Kiddush HaChodesh. דברו אל כל עדת ישראל לאמור, בעשור לחודש, here's what you need to do in Yud Nisan, etc. But before that, before continuing about Yetziat Mitzrayim, I want to teach you about Rosh Chodesh, about Kiddush HaChodesh. Now, it's not a 90-second break, timeout. Rashi says, הראו לבנה בחידושה, ואמר לו, כשהירח מתחדש, יהיה לך ראש חודש. Meaning, Moshe didn't really understand. נתקשה Moshe, right? It wasn't too clear to him. Al molad levana. How am I supposed to understand when exactly is the chodesh? When does it start? When am I supposed to do this mitzvah? So Hashem took out, I don't know, chalk and started writing and showing him how exactly the moon needs to look like, and you'll know it's a beginning of the month. Rashi says, והראה לו באצבע את הלבנה ברקיע ואמר לו כזה, you see this kind of moon, ראה וקדש. Now, it's a little weird. Why did we have to stop the Parsha of Yetziat Mitzrayim right before we're about to leave? Hashem said, stop, Moshe, I forgot something. I need to teach you about Kiddush HaChodesh. And Moshe says, what? I don't get it. And Hashem continues and does not continue to Makat Bechorot until he makes sure that Moshe understood it. Rashi says the mitzvah of Kiddush HaChodesh we read last week's Parsha, right? First Rashi in the Torah, אמר רבי יצחק לא היה צריך להתחיל את התורה, אלא from this mitzvah, מהחודש הזה לכם, about the new moon, שהיא מצווה ראשונה, this is the first mitzvah שנצטוו בישראל. מה הטעם פתח בבראשית? We all know the continuation. Why do we start in בראשית? Because שלא יגידו אומות העולם, the other nations would not say, it would be easy to find, Eretz Yisrael is ours. Where does it say? first pasuk. But really, we had to start from Kiddush HaChodesh. You know, not such a Goyse Metzia, right? Kiddush HaChodesh, that's a big, that's a first mitzvah. Okay, it might be important, but I would think the first mitzvah would probably be, your opening is the most important. You have only one chance to make a first impression, right? It's a first mitzvah. Not only that, the Gemara says, "Amar Rabbi Yacha B'Chanina, Amar Rabbi Asi, Amar Rabbi Yochanan, Kol hamevarech al hachodesh bizmano." If you really are makpid on this mitzvah and you say it on the right time, Kilo mekabel pnei shechina. It's like you saw Hashem, you saw Kadosh Baruch Hu. This Kiddush HaChodesh, Kiddush Levana, mentioning of the new month, seeing the moon, that's seeing Pnei Shechina. That's seeing HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's such a big thing. Okay, so I want to start an answer by explaining some weird minhagim we do in Kiddush, at least to me, it was a little bit weird, in Kiddush Levana and Kiddush HaChodesh. And maybe we'll understand what's the purpose of this mitzvah and why it's so important that it's really the first mitzvah. So said the Ma'aril, Shut HaMa'aril, U'ma shenotnim shalom lechavero achar birkat levana, right? We all say shalom aleichem, aleichem shalom, shalom aleichem, aleichem shalom. It's what is that all about? Why do we say it in the middle of birkat levana? V'ta'amei, ho'il u'mitzvah rabba avdei, because you just did a big mitzvah of right, Kiddush Levana. Like we saw before, it's like seeing HaKadosh Baruch Hu himself. So you're so excited of seeing HaKadosh Baruch Hu, so you want to go to your friend and say, listen, you know what I just experienced? I saw Shekhinah. I just got to have the Jordan's autograph. Look, and you go to your friend and say, look, you saw who I met? Michael Jordan. I got his autograph. I just saw Pnei Shekhinah. So you go to your friend and you say, Shalom Aleichem. How are you? Listen what happened to me. So it's even this odd minhag is because we just did something really, really big. Okay. So we need to understand more why that's so big. When is the latest time you could say Kiddush Levana? If you didn't say in your first opportunity, meaning it's greater and it's better to say it when the first opportunity you can. Okay, say in the next day, and etc. Until it's full. Until, right, we do today until night of Tetvav. Right after the first half of the month, you cannot say anymore. You can't say Kiddush Levana. Because you can't say Mechadesh Chodashim. We say in Birkat, in the bracha of Kiddush Levana, Baruch Atah Hashem Mechadesh Chodashim. It's a new month. We can't say it after Tetvav. So, why? I would think we would say Kiddush Levana maybe on the night of Yudalit, Tetvav, Tetzain, the moon is big, it's nice and shiny. Why do we say it in the beginning? And not only that, it's greater to do it in your first opportunity. But you should do it in the first opportunity you can. Why is that so? I think a possible answer could be that it's not about being big. It's not about a big moon, a shiny, nice moon. It's about growth. It's about the potential. How many growth does this moon have? How much potential does it have until it becomes big? From Aleph until Tetvav, we have 15 steps to go. Wow, you have a nice journey you have an opportunity of really growing. And after Tetvav, after Tetzain, you can't grow. You're now only becoming smaller, going down. So it's about building. It's about growing. It's about your potential. It's about moving forward. Says the Shulchan Aruch, אין מברכים על הירח אלא במוצאי שבת, כשהוא מבוסם ובגדיו נעים. You can't say Kiddush Levana, only אין מברכים על הירח אלא במוצאי שבת. You should do it when you're wearing your nice clothes, and it should preferably be on מוצאי שבת. כשמקדשים אותה בחול, even when it's cloudy outside and you can't do it מוצאי Shabbos, you do it on Tuesday night, should put on yesh lilvosh bgadim na'im. You should put on nice clothes. The Mishnah Berurah brings in an explanation why not to do it on Shabbos, because en me'arvin simcha besimcha. It's like we just saw before. You meet Shechina, and Shabbos is a different notion, so you can't mix two smachot together. But another reason I think could possibly be on Shabbos we create. We are not allowed to create. We need to stop. We can't build. We can't grow. We need to rest. Kiddush Levana notion is about creating. It's about moving forward. It's about building. It's not matim to do it, to do that bracha, to mention it on Shabbos. And I think that's the reason it's such a big mitzvah. That's a reason why it's a first mitzvah. That's a reason why Hashem told Moshe, stop. Before, it's not a timeout. It's not, oh, I forgot a mitzvah. I had to tell you right before we're leaving Mitzrayim, I had something in mind, Kiddush Levana. No. Before you leave Mitzrayim, before I take you out of Mitzrayim, you need to understand what is the purpose of Judaism. We're leaving Mitzrayim, we're leaving this Tum'ah place, and you're going towards Eretz Yisrael, you're going towards Kabbalah Torah. The most important move is growing. Judaism, the Torah is about building, about growing. You can't be perfect. You can't say, okay, I'm not going to be perfect, so I'm not going to grow. No, you have to always work and build. And Kiddush HaChodesh, we'll see soon also, is an act that a person needs to do. It's not like Shabbos that, okay, tomorrow night, Shabbos, no matter what you did, how you did, where you are, Zeu, nigmar. Shabbos came in, you need to stop. It's not here in Kiddush HaChodesh, Kiddush Levana, it's about a person, it's about two Edim, seeing the moon, coming to Beit Din and saying, hey, we saw so-and-so, we saw the moon, they need to create. They create a mitzvah. The person needs to be very active in order to, oh, there's a new month. Said Hashem to Moshe, listen, I could take you out of Mitzrayim, but it's not enough. The first mitzvah of Kiddush HaChodesh, you need to do the move. You need to be active. You need to go out of Mitzrayim. Like the notion of Kiddush HaChodesh, of seeing the moon, it won't come out like Shabbos automatically every 7 days. You need to go outside, and when you see the moon, you need to go to Beit Din, and here are the new months. Here's how we start. It's not automatically. Continuation here of Shulchan Aruch is V'noagin lomar David Melech Yisrael Chai V'Kayam. Another odd minhag. Why do we say David Melech Yisrael Chai V'Kayam? שמלכותו נמשל הלבנה ועתיד להתחדש כמותה וכנסת ישראל תחזור להידבק בבעלה שהוא הקדוש ברוך הוא. Why do we mention David HaMelech here? I think two reasons. David HaMelech, right, in the next source, אמר רבי שמואל בר נחמני in מסכת מועד קטן, אמר רבי יונתן, מהי דכתיב ינעם דוד בן ישי שהקים עולה של תשובה. David HaMelech created the notion of, you know what, I sinned, but I could fix. I could grow. We mentioned David HaMelech in Kiddush Levana. Does not say here explicitly, but I think David HaMelech is known by doing a bad sin, but growing from it, moving forward. All the Tehillim is about David HaMelech doing tshuva, about crying to Hashem, because the notion of growing, about creating, about building, that's exactly Kiddush Levana. The moon is small, but it's about the growth, the potential it has. We mentioned David HaMelech to remind us it's not about being perfect. It's about you fall and you're able to move forward, to jump up. But Shulchan Aruch says here, we mentioned David HaMelech because Malchut Beit David, that even though in our days it kind of disappeared, like the moon disappears, it goes down and becomes smaller, but every month it grows back again and comes out again. And that's the world, okay? Kufa of 1,000 years of Galut, but we believe, and I think it started 73 years ago, maybe even before, of idea of coming back. But before we mention, I want to mention that idea of how the Geulah is coming back. I want to answer also, before I forget, our first question. Why is it such a big sin of Bonei Migdal Bavel, right, when they came out there and want to build that big building, that new settlement, and Hashem said, stop. It's a sin. We just said we're about the potential, we're about the growth, we're about the building, creating. Why was it such a bad sin? So I think it depends on what kind of building you build. Are you like David HaMelech shekim ula shel tshuva, and you understand you need to fix yourself, you need to be better, you need to move forward? Or are you like Migdal Bavel, sorry, for when it says, ויאמרו in Pasuk Daled, הבה נבנה לנו עיר ומגדל וראשו בשמיים, and what's the purpose? ונעשה לנו שם. What do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be famous. What do you want to be? I want to be famous, right? At least here in Israel, it's very you see it in different TV shows. מה אתה רוצה להיות שתי גדול? מפורסם. מה זה מפורסם? What's famous? ונעשה לנו שם. These three words, I think, are the sin. It's not about the building. Great idea. הבה נבנה לנו עיר. Perfect. ומגדל? Yeah. Great. Downtown. Perfect. ומגדל וראשו בשמיים? Also okay. But נעשה לנו שם. That's the purpose of the building, to make yourself big. That's not a building. And I think we learn from the moon, from David HaMelech, what is a right building? Where do you want to move? Where do you want to take your building to? Going back to David HaMelech, right? The Shulchan Aruch says about David HaMelech's malchut. Sorry, another in parentheses. Learning from the moon, I think it's not a coincidence that the word levena, meaning a brick, right? Probably they build that building with bricks, levena, is similar to the word levana, the moon. The levana is small, and it's about growing up and moving forward. A levena also, same letters, is about brick on brick on brick on brick and building. But like we mentioned, is it a building for Na'aseh Lanu Shem, or is it a building of coming closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, seeing Pnei Shechina, like in Kiddush Levana? But David HaMelech says, Shulchan Aruch says, Shemalchuto Nimshala Levena, it's about the Levena, that it's going to grow back and become, and Knesset Yisrael תחזור להתאבק בבעלה שהוא הקדוש ברוך הוא. said הרב צבי הירש קלישר in his great book דרישת ציון, הגאולה לא כנהר שוטף יגיע אלינו. Same idea like Kiddush Levana. It's not gonna come down on you like Shabbos every 7 days, or on Tetvav Nisan you have Pesach even if you don't want it. הגאולה לא כנהר שוטף יגיע אלינו, won't come from heaven, רק בכל דממה דקה. Come slowly, step by step, like the moon, מעט מעט, יצמיח אור נוגה קרן ישענו. It's gonna come slowly, and you might even not notice it. מתחילה יצטרך התערותה מלטאטה. The first move of גאולה, of redemption, of bringing back Malchut Beit David, we mentioned in Kiddush Levana, is שמעצמנו נתקיף, that it should come from us. Like Kiddush Levana, the first mitzvah, the first idea that we were supposed to open the Torah with, but just because we want to make sure that everyone knows Eretz Yisrael is ours, that idea of you need to go out there and create, you need to go out there and see the moon and run to Beit Din and say, listen, I saw the moon, it's something, yet you need to be active. First, you need to do the move, like Kiddush Levana, being active. And then, right, we're talking about the Geula. The first move of Geula needs to come from us. And then, and then HaKadosh Baruch Hu will help you out, and eventually Malchut Beit David will come back. Shaharei, says the Rav Kalisher, אין ימות המשיח אחר ביאת המשיח בן דוד, אלא רק קודם לכן. ימות המשיח, we all talk about, we're waiting for the days of Mashiach. It's not after Mashiach ben David comes. That's the end of the process. Yemot HaMashiach is now. קודם לכן. הזמן אשר יפעל בו ימי המשיח, בהתאסף בני ישראל קיבוץ אחר קיבוץ, step by step, like the moon moves forward, and we say Kiddush Levana, Kiddush HaChodesh on that, on the growth, like we mentioned. V'yitasef bnei Yisrael kibbutz achar kibbutz, v'yaseh mikneh v'kinyan. They come from Morocco, from Chicago, from Russia. Am Yisrael slowly but surely comes back to Eretz Yisrael. V'yasu mikneh v'kinyan, and there's another yishuv. And 20 years ago, Modi'in, where I live, and another yishuv, and another building. After that, but it's a process, right? And then Mashiach ben David would come. But the mitzvah, the process, the big idea of seeing Shekhinah is not when the Mashiach is there, when the moon is big. That's the end of the process. The big mitzvah is about the beginning, the first step, you being active and doing it, going out there and doing the Kiddush Levana and going to Beit Din and saying, listen, I saw this small little moon. That's exactly the Geula. It's about us being active. Now, the easy thing is for me to say, guys, come home. But I'm not going to say that. But everyone needs to find where is he active in that Geula process? Because Mashiach ben David, it will come when we're all in. All in could be even in a simple idea of saying every day a Perek Tehillim for the building of Eretz Yisrael, for our soldiers, for whatever it is, being part of the building. You could be a player on the court, you could buy a ticket and share for the players, and so many things you could do to be part of the game. But said Arav Tzvi Hirsch Kalisher, and I think this is a great idea, you need to be part of the game. אין ימות המשיח אחר ביאת משיח בן דוד, אלא רק קודם לכן אשר יופעל בו ימי משיח ויתאסף בני ישראל. You need to come and be part of trying to push people to come. Not everyone is able, and it's very complicated to make aliyah and to be, but how if I can't do it, how can I do it? I send my son, I learn Torat, I talk about it, I advocate for Israel, I'm part of it. It's part of my to-do list for my daily list of how that's part of my Yiddishkeit. It's not only Shabbos and Tefillin and Kashrut, it's Eretz Yisrael. It's being part of Binyan Eretz Yisrael. And I think, going back to our Parsha, Parshat Noach, and Kiddush Levana, and Migdal Bavel, when the idea of the building and creating, but for what purpose? The sin was the purpose of Na'aseh Lanu Shem. Let's create a big skyscraper and a bigger house and another car. That's a sin. You got to build. You got to be part. But for what idea? And that's exactly, I think, Kiddush Levana, and that's exactly the opposite, the sin of Anshei Migdal Bavel. It's 9:30. So even though, 1:30 your time. So even though we started a few minutes late, I don't want to take more of your time. Unless there's some questions, comments. Anybody? Okay.
Sorry, I arrived late just now. I thought maybe it'd be a 1-hour class, but it's 30 minutes, so I'll plan better for next week.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you.
Shabbat
I was
Shalom.
muted.
I can't hear you.
Fascinating. Thank you.
Thank you. Shabbat Shalom. Sorot Tovot.
Shabbat Shalom, Arav Yosef. Thank you.
Bye
You
bye.
too. Thanks again for
Yes,
teaching.
thank you. Yes.
Looking forward to trying it next week.
Thank you.